guys, welcome back to my channel. So once again I made the disappearance act and I was gone for a little bit. I'm very sorry about that, especially after all the big promises I made in the beginning of the year that I will be a very diligent YouTuber and I will start making more different content and more talky videos and just generally try to have more videos up for you. Unfortunately, in between my promise and now, morning sickness struck. Let's talk about that for a second. Morning sickness. Lies. Not just in the morning. Also not just in the evening. Not just in the weekend. Not just on Mondays or Tuesdays. No. Every day. 24/7. The only time you feel good is when you sleep. Or at least maybe I was one of the very unlucky ladies whose first trimester was just pretty unpleasant, let's put it that way. Thankfully in the past few weeks I've been feeling a lot better. I'm now in my second trimester, things are going fine. It's just that's the reason I disappeared. I was just feeling really shitty. I had very little energy. I was incredibly nauseous all the time. 11 week and 12 were kind of a disaster because, I don't know, there was maybe some sort of like a spike of hormones and I started throwing up several times a day. But anyway, I'm going to spare you the details. I just wanted to let you know exactly why I disappeared and why I've been gone, in case you were curious. But today we're going to do a really fun tag video that I've seen floating around from other people and I thought it might be really fun to do. So I tried searching for like the particular questions for this. Oh, by the way, we're doing the if I only can keep one tag. No, if I can only keep one tag. So basically you have to choose one product and only one per each category in your makeup routine and then stick with that. And the idea is that you don't pick your favorites, but probably you think about what the most practical product is for you to keep if you're going to only have to use that for the rest of your life. Now let's just start by saying that if that ever happened, it would be the fucking saddest thing in the world, because if you're someone like me and you have a gazillion eyeshadows, over 50 lipsticks, and you just enjoy putting different colors on your face every day, keeping only one is pure tragedy. But let's say I had to do it, I actually didn't have such a hard time picking out the products that I would stick with for the rest of my life. And I couldn't really find like questions and particular categories, so it seems to me like everyone just describes their categories based on probably their own makeup routine. So I'm just going to tell you what products I picked in each category that I find important for my makeup routine. Hopefully I didn't forget something, hopefully I didn't cheat a lot. Let's get started. Okay, if I had to pick only one eyeshadow primer to use for the rest of my life, it would be the MAC 24-Hour Extend Eye Base, which comes in this squeezy tube, because it is a gorgeous primer. It just works really well. A lot of other primers that I've tried either tend to give up on me after 8 hours or don't have the consistency that I like. It's just, and this also goes a really long way. I love this primer. If I only had to keep one, without a doubt, it would be this one. Alright, in the category brows, it was also pretty easy to decide because I'm not someone who has a lot of brow products, nor do I don't know, I'm not very curious about brow products, let's put it that way. So when something works, I just stick with it. And in my case, that would be the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Ebony. Ebony has two shades in it, a somewhat lighter brown and a somewhat darker taupier brown. I must say, if I put them through my brows, I don't really see much of a difference. Quite frankly, if I had to go through the rest of my life without even doing my brows, it would probably be possible because I have naturally quite full brows, so I just kind of fill them in and make them a little more, you know, outlined with the brow powder, but this would be more than enough for me. Let's go to another very easy category for me, and that is concealer. And if you've been around my channel for a while, you probably know what's coming. If I could only keep one concealer, it would absolutely be the Skinfood Dark Circles Salmon Skin Concealer in the shade 01, which looks like this. It comes in a pot, it's very creamy, it has this slightly peachy color to it. And I absolutely love this concealer because it is the only concealer that has worked for me. For some reason, the rest of my face is pretty oily, but the under eye area is extremely dry. So whatever other concealer I try has always just made my under eyes look 10 times drier, and it has aged me incredibly, and I have absolutely hated the way they looked on me. So I have stopped trying other concealers. I hope they never discontinue this. If they do, I'm going to buy backups and backups of the backups so that they can last me a full lifetime. But let's be done with like the eyeshadow primer base things. I know that's a category that a lot of other people haven't included in their If I Could Only Keep One tag videos, because they probably don't use it on a daily basis like I do. But I use glitter base or some sort of a sticky base pretty much on a daily basis. So for me, that's like an indispensable part of my routine. If I only had to keep one, I would go with Darling Girl's Glitter Glue. Darling Girl Cosmetics is an indie company. A lot of indie companies make these sort of products. They're kind of glycerin based and they vary from very, very tacky to a little bit more liquidy. This one is like the perfect middle for me. It's not too liquidy, it's not too tacky. Epoxy, I'm talking about you. And I just love it. If I had to stick with one glitter base for the rest of my life, it would definitely be glitter glue. I wouldn't need anything else to keep my metallic eyeshadows in place. Okay, let's move on to a category that's probably very interesting for you, because if you know me, you know that I absolutely love eyeshadow. It's probably the most of any makeup product that I own. So making a choice of which eyeshadow or eyeshadow palette to keep was very, very hard. You would think it was hard. You would think that I would struggle with it, but actually I didn't struggle with it at all. First of all, I wouldn't keep any like single eyeshadows because, well, I would definitely pick an eyeshadow palette because that gives me more options in terms of eyeshadow. It's still one product, I just get more variety from it. And without a doubt, in my case, that would be the Kat Von D Matte on Matte palette. For a very simple reason. You might not know this, or you might know this, I don't know, but this is like my absolute favorite eyeshadow palette that has ever been made. It just has everything that I will ever need. There is the corner with the more like neutrally eyeshadow tones. There is my blues and greens over here. You can do so much with this eyeshadow palette. You have the beautiful Metal Crush formula right here. You have a variety of mattes on that bottom row. I just think if I had this eyeshadow palette for the rest of my life, yes, I would at some point get bored with it and I would really, really long for something else just because it's me and I want to have that variety and that kind of choice. But if I didn't have any other choice and I had to only pick one, this would be perfect for me because it just has everything that I love in eyeshadow. If I only had to keep one glitter, because obviously it's me, I have to add glitter as a category too if I could only keep one, I would pick the Urban Decay Heavy Metals glitter liner in the shade Distortion, because in my opinion that is the glitter that would serve me the most, especially with this eyeshadow palette. The thing is that I would have to either the thing is that I was hesitating between this and Space Cowboy. Space Cowboy is like the more goldy, champagne-y glitter, but the truth is I prefer this type of glitter, so something which has a little bit more of like purpley, greeny tones to it, and I just think that this represents me better and I would enjoy it more. So on a daily basis I think Distortion would be perfect for me. Categories next. Well, let's finish off the eyes. So if I could only keep one eyeliner, it would be the Physicians Formula 2-in-1 Eye Booster Pen. I picked the brown one because I don't really know why. I feel like I prefer dark brown to black lately, so I know black is more universal, but I feel like brown is just a little bit softer and it could still pass off as a blackish color because it's so dark. I don't know, maybe I would regret this choice and have to live without eyeliner for the rest of my life, but at this point if I had to pick only one, I would pick the brown Physicians Formula eyeliner. It's one of those felt tip eyeliners, by the way. It has a very, very nice fine tip to it. I like how it applies, I like how easy it is to apply eyeliner with it. It works for me. Okay, let's move on to the face products, and the first product would be, normally for most people, The face primer, I'm not going to even add that category because I think that the foundation that I've picked works well either way, so I don't need a face primer if I use this foundation. And I didn't have to think twice about it. If I had to pick one foundation for the rest of my life, it would be the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light. I don't know why I'm holding it here. This foundation is absolute perfection. It has a very nice formula because it's the light version of the original Double Wear. Oh, there's a tongue twister for me, I don't know why. Because it's a little bit lighter in texture, it's not as heavy looking. I feel like it's very easy to work with. This shade fits me well most of the year, and I just absolutely love the formula. It looks flawless on the skin, it keeps my oils at bay, and the best part, I don't have to use primer with it because it just looks flawless either way. So, win-win. We saved a little bit of time in my future where I can only keep one makeup product, and I'm probably really sad about it. Alright, if I could only keep one powder, Urban Decay would have to bring back that powder because I feel like it's been discontinued in the meantime. That is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Ultra Definition HD powder. It comes in this packaging. Mine is actually already finished. It has a little bit of a color to it that exactly fits me, and it has a very finely milled, beautiful texture. It blurs the skin. It just does everything that I want in a powder, including, you know, keep my face oils at bay, and I would love it if they bring it back. Alright, let's move on to bronzer, blush and highlight. Bronzer was a real hard one for me because I like bronzers with different tones to them. I like more pinky bronzers, I like more reddish coppery bronzers for the summer. I just like different tones of bronzers, and it's very, very hard for me to keep one that would, you know, work for me for the rest of my life. Once again, this may be a decision that future me regrets in my dystopian you can only keep one makeup product future, but I think for now, if I had to go with only one product, I would go with Sunkissed from Makeup Geek because, first of all, I love the texture of this bronzer. It has a beautiful sheen to it. It's not a completely matte, flat matte bronzer. I'm not very fond of those. I prefer them to have a little bit of a sheen. I feel like it gives a bit more liveliness to the skin. This is also not too cool, and it's not too warm. It has like these mustardy tones to it, so I would say it leans a little bit warmer rather than cooler, but it's not either of the two. It's not too orange, it's not too pink, so I feel like it would work all year long to satisfy my needs. It's also a very buildable bronzer, so I feel like if I only had to keep one and I had Sunkissed, I would probably be quite happy with it, unless I'm really, really tan, in which case this one probably wouldn't show up on me and I would have to live without bronzer. Alright, moving into blush and highlighter. I don't know if that's a cheat, but I picked palettes for both categories because I feel like it's one product, but not specifically like not a palette product. And I know that for a lot of these you could pick palettes and probably cheat your way out of it, but I feel like I did a pretty good job. I can't just pick one blush and one highlighter. Probably I could pick one blush. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay, if I am allowed to keep a palette, I would keep my Love Flush blush palette from Too Faced because it's got everything. It's got a pink, it's got a coral, it's got those more mauvey tones, it's got a bit of a orangey, peachy tone over here. It's perfect. And on top of that, I happen to be extremely fond of the formula of these Too Faced Love Flush blushes. They are my absolute favorite formula in the whole world. If they told me, sorry lady, you have to pick only one blush for the rest of your life, not a palette, because that's cheating, I would go with this beauty over here. It's called Baby Love. If someone can find me a full size of Baby Love and give it to me, because it seems like Too Faced is either discontinuing it or something's wrong with the production, because this blush has been out of stock everywhere for a really long time. But anyway, like I said, in my sad dystopian future they have to at least satisfy my one need. I would go with Baby Love and I would probably be quite happy with it because it works really well with my skin tone. I would have a much harder time having to part with the palette and only picking one highlighter than I would with the blush, so I would probably beg that cruel person who has decided to rob me of all of my other makeup to please let me keep at least my highlighter palette, because I would go with Aurora from Anastasia Beverly Hills and I would not regret that one bit for the rest of my life because I absolutely adore this glow kit. It looks like this. It's full of really fun shades, so if I wanted to do something fun, I have this blue, I have this greenish over here, these over here, Spectra and Lyra are my absolute favorites, so if they could, you know, just never end, you know, if I would finish them and they would just magically reappear again in the pan, I would probably be a really happy panda. So I would not mind at all if I had to keep and use only Aurora for the rest of my life, because I adore her as it is. Oh yeah, one category I forgot for the eyes. If I only had to keep one mascara, it would be the Kiko Extra Sculpt Volume Mascara, which comes in this really beautiful futuristic packaging, which probably fits my dystopian future quite a bit. It's a beautiful mascara, it gives me length, it gives me volume. It always makes my lashes look absolutely stunning, so if I could only keep one mascara, I would without a doubt keep this one. I only have one more face product that I want to talk about, and then we can move into the lip products. If I only had to keep one fixing spray for the rest of my life, it would be the Urban Decay Quick Fix Hydra Charged Complexion Prep Priming Spray, because a number of reasons. First of all, I absolutely love the sprayer of this bottle. It makes a very fine mist. That is probably one of the reasons that I picked it over MAC Fix Plus, because I don't really like the way Fix Plus sprays, and like the mist is not as fine as this one. This one has the added bonus of you can use it as a prepping and finishing spray, and on top of that it smells delicious like coconut. So, you know, win-win-win. I'll keep it for the rest of my life. I would not be sad. Okay, if I could only keep one lip balm for the rest of my life, because I cannot really live without my lip balm, it would definitely be Vanilla Veil from Notoriously Morbid. I absolutely love the Night Kiss balms from Notoriously Morbid. They're like my favorite lip balm formula, and I especially love Vanilla Veil because everything that smells like vanilla is a yes in my book. And now into the category where I haven't really made up my mind quite yet, and I just had another idea that I'm not quite sure is maybe not a good idea or a bad idea. Okay, let's talk about this. Lipstick. How does one pick one lipstick for the rest of their lives? I don't know. Especially if you're me and you like to wear most shades of lipstick. But anyway, okay, I thought initially that if I had to keep only one lipstick, it would obviously have to be some sort of a more nudie neutral color, because that would pretty much go with everything. And in that scenario, I was hesitating between Ravenswood from Urban Decay and Modesty from MAC. We're going to decide together now which one I'm going to keep. So Modesty, by the way, is the one that I have on my lips right now, so let's start with that one. So Modesty is this beautiful brownie, nudie, pinky color, and what I really like about this lipstick is the formula. It's a cream sheen, by the way, and it's beautiful. It's like so creamy and moisturizing, and if you are like me right now and your lips are completely dried out and you cannot wear even your matte lipsticks, this is a lifesaver. So I would be able to wear this lipstick for the rest of my life because it would just always work. So let's swatch Modesty. Okay, so this is Modesty. As you see, beautiful sheen, beautiful lipstick. I absolutely adore it. Then we have Ravenswood, and Ravenswood, granted, is very similar. It's again in that like brownie nudie tones, but I feel like, well, it's slightly different than this one. And again, it's a cream formula, so it's very beautiful on the lips, and it's very comfortable to wear, which is something I would definitely want in my dystopian future, comfort. So I feel like Ravenswood is just a little more pigmented than Modesty, and it has a bit more of like pinky terracotta tones to it. What do you think? Modesty or Ravenswood? Damn, that's a really hard one. So, the dilemma remains, Modesty or Ravenswood. You know what? You are going to decide that for me. What do you think? Should I keep Ravenswood or should I keep Modesty? You decide. Plot twist. plot twist in this tag video. You decide which lipstick I'm going to keep. Okay, when it comes to lip gloss, the decision was absolutely much easier than lipstick. And if I had to keep only one lip gloss, it would be without a doubt Vintage from Anastasia Beverly Hills, because it is a beautiful, like, pinky neutral color that once again would go with everything. It's incredibly beautiful on the lips, and it has the most beautiful sparkles in it. I don't know whether you can see a little bit in the light. I absolutely love the formula of this lip gloss. I recommend it to like everybody around me, so I think no doubts this is it. And by the way, what I was just thinking, if I can keep Vintage to be my like more neutral color, I could theoretically get away with keeping one lipstick which is like more of a bright statement color, in which case I would actually have only one choice of lipstick, and that lipstick would be Wonderland from Urban Decay. Wonderland is this beautiful reddish pink. Let me swatch that for you. So this is Wonderland. Once again, I'm going for a cream formula because I just prefer cream formulas to everything that is more matte and more drying, I think, especially right now. So maybe that's the reason I'm gravitating towards Wonderland other than my Comfort Matte formulas from Urban Decay. But let's say in a scenario where I decide that I'm covered with the neutrals and nudes with the lip gloss, I could maybe pick one lipstick and take a red lipstick with me. Which again, my future dystopian self might regret majorly, because who the fuck keeps a red lipstick for the rest of their lives? Oh yeah, I have one more category that I added, by the way, and I think it's a pretty cool one. I think maybe I've seen some people do it as well, but not everyone, and that is brushes. If I only could keep one eye brush and one face brush, which ones would they be? If I could only keep one eye brush, it would be the Zoeva Luxe Crease 228 brush, which looks like this. It is a blending brush because I feel like there's a lot I can do with my fingers, but the blending wouldn't be one of them. So I would definitely want to have a blending brush with me, and I really like this one because it's quite big for my eyes, but you can also concentrate color with it in the crease because of that tapered shape over here. And if I had to keep only one face brush, it would be the Spectrum CO3 brush, because once again it has that beautiful tapered shape. It's a very dense brush, so I would theoretically be able to apply my bronzer, my blush and my highlight all with this brush. So guys, that was pretty much all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tag video. I really enjoyed doing it. I'm not going to tag anyone. Personally, I wasn't tagged by anyone either. I just think if you want to answer the questions, or if you want to do this video, then just do it. Be my guest. Let me know that you did it so that I can watch it as well, because I'm always really curious to hear people's choices and the reasons why they pick these particular products. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!